today to introduce to you the next hard-working Labour Member of Parliament for this constituency, Mr. Richard Garvey.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you follow a speech like that, and I tell you what, Paul, if this was a month ago, before nominations closed, I'd be handing my resignation in and asking you to stand again, because you were a fantastic MP for this constituency. You sorely missed by not just the Labour Party members, but also the people of Wellingborough and Rushden. Let's hear it for Paul Stinchman. So a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about having a campaign rally to kickstart our campaign, and we were thinking about where to have it. Now, where better place than in a fantastic building that was formerly owned by Wellingborough Borough Council, that the Tories tried to close, when it's used by 50 people a day, elderly, disabled, the most vulnerable people of our society, and I can't quite remember the words and the phrases that they use, but they're all on YouTube, about how the Tory councillors wouldn't send their parents here, they wanted it to close, it wasn't fit for purpose. I think one person even said the roof was about to fall in any day. Well, if you look up above you, I can assure you it's not going to fall in, so don't worry. But big thank you to all the guys at Glamis Hall for having us here today. It's a great pleasure, and I think you'll remember as well when we were in those council chamber meetings, and I stood up and I was heckled by the Tories. They shouted me down. They told me I was doing it for votes. Well, you know, I'm proud to say I'm the only political campaigner in this town who hasn't put Glamis Hall on my leaflets, because I didn't stand up for the people who use this centre for votes. It wasn't a political issue, it wasn't party political. The reason we stood up for this centre was to do the right thing and to stand up for the most vulnerable people in our society. So thank you to all the guys at Glamis Hall for having us. So I'm standing up in front of you today as your parliamentary candidate for Wellingborough and Rushden. I'm sure there's a few people in this room who are thinking, how did you get there? I sometimes ask myself that very same question. But here I am. You know, I remember when I was growing up with Craig here, my best friend from school, and we went to schools together, and sometimes, you know, I'd go to school, I'd have holes in my shoes, and holes in my trousers, and, you know, Christmas presents with a coat for the winter, birthday presents for a pair of school shoes. Things were really tough. I got brought up by my grandparents, so it was really hard. And when Labour got in '97, I was never political, but I remember going home and watching Prime Minister's Questions with my granddad. I'd get in for like 3 o'clock every day off the school bus, and Tony Blair would just be coming on, and I thought it was exciting. And when he became Prime Minister, I never thought, again, we'd see a time where children are going hungry, children are going to school without school uniform, they're wearing, you know, trousers that are ripped, they've got holes in their shoes. Certainly when we were finishing school, I couldn't stay on at school and do sixth form or go to university or anything like that. We didn't even have education maintenance allowance or anything like that. So as far as the official stereotypes go, I'm unqualified. I have no degree, no college qualifications, which makes me standing here even more unbelievable. But that's what I think is great about the Labour Party, that I look at our candidates up and down the country this time round. We've got Lee Sheriff in Carlisle, used to work in Topshop, I think it was, stacking shelves. We've got a lady over in Peterborough, Lisa Forbes, single mum of 2, fantastic woman. And these are the people that we need to get into Parliament. You know, we need to get real people into Parliament who are going to stand up for the real issues. You know, as Paul was saying, Peter Bone focuses on, you know, the fears that people have in society. So things like immigrants, they take all our jobs, we need to get out of Europe. But actually he hasn't listened to the people of Wellingborough, because you listen to the people of Wellingborough and they talk about the concerns, and Rushden, it's about the fact that, you know, wages have been suppressed because the Tories have relaxed all the red tape, that they call it, that allow people to employ people for less than minimum wage, and they don't prosecute them. So when you talk about immigrants, you know, It's the exploitation that we need to end. That's how we're going to fix immigration in this country, and that's why, you know, when I'm the next Labour MP for Wellingborough and Rushden, I'll be proud to back Ed Miliband with his plans, not just on immigration, but everything. In Rushden, in Wellingborough, Higham Ferrers, in the villages, we've worked hard for the last 18 months. We've achieved some pretty small things, but they're pretty small things that impact people's daily lives. So people who live in Irchester, Rushden and Higham, you know, up until late last year, you can get a bus to Northampton on a Sunday. The only time you could go to Northampton was on a Saturday lunchtime, and we fixed that with our campaign. We campaigned to stop the Nen Park redevelopment. We've campaigned hand in hand with the community on Glamis Hall. You know, everything that we've done for the right reasons, and that's what I'd like to do if you send me to Westminster as your MP. National issues then. The very first thing that I want to do as your MP is get rid of the bedroom tax. I don't know how many people here are impacted, but I hear from people every day. I hear from people every day that are impacted by the bedroom tax, and how there's a loophole that even now the local housing associations haven't closed, so people don't know if they're coming or they're going. You've got the council tax benefit relief, which our fantastic Labour Party councillors tried to save unsuccessfully. Again, our kind, caring, Conservative councillors, despite the money being there, they decided to, I think they found, now somebody might be able to correct me here, but how much did they find down the back of the sofa before that meeting? Can you remember? About 800,000 or something like that. And somebody put forward the suggestion, well, let's relax the council tax benefit relief, and they ignored us. So there's lots of things that we need to do. Build new houses, affordable houses, create more jobs, bring investment to Wellingborough and Rushden, build infrastructure as part of our new housing developments. All those things are what I want to do as your MP. I don't want to be, well, I'll never be Prime Minister, let's be honest. I'll never be a Cabinet Minister, but the one thing I want to do for you is go and fight for every last penny to bring back to this constituency, and do some of the great things that Paul used to do. Go and visit a school every Friday and read to the kids. Go out and visit workplaces and talk to the people who work in local factories and offices, and find out what their real concerns are. And forget camping out in Westminster for 3 days to present bills such as renaming the August Bank Holiday after Margaret Thatcher, or hanging people. You know, if I was camping out, I'd be camping out to get people to spend money to reinvigorate this constituency, bring jobs back to these people in our town, and let's bring the good days we had under Labour. So that's it for me. I'm sorry it's not as good as Paul's speech, but I thank you all for coming tonight. I feel really proud to be your Labour Party candidate for this election. Hopefully I'll win. Things are looking okay at the moment. You know, we need to win control of Wellingborough Council as well. Get some councillors in Rushden. Fantastic Rushden team here tonight. So thanks for coming, and I look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail over the next 18 days. Thank you very much.